And we are live. And how you doing today?
I'm doing really good. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. It's always a pleasure
Same.
to talk to a sexy Queen of Spades, me being a BBC myself.
Thank you.
and and I'm gonna tell you what really caught my attention, right? I love the
Okay.
fact that you're a creamer.
Okay.
Yes. How creamy does it get?
It depends on the skills of the
Mm,
man, right?
mm.
Like, that's not necessarily determined on my body. So, my
Oh
body
my God.
responds to the proper stimuli.
Okay, so what's the creamiest it gets? How nasty it gets? Because I've been with a girl that gets creamy, and when we got into it, it was like my shit looked like foam coming out the pussy. I'm just saying.
hmm Well, I mean, there's a few videos you can see on my platforms where you're going to be able to see exactly, how messy I get. But I also am not just a creamer, I'm also a squirter. So combo.
See, I already found her attractive. Now she make me have a crush on her. Ain't that funny, smokers? Oh my goodness. And so, and two, also I noticed. Do you think the older ladies get what Queen of Spades is versus the young girls? Because it seemed like to me the older ladies, the ladies 35 and up, they understand that term and get it more so than the young girls. Like they just use the term just to use it like throat go.
Yeah, I definitely think it's become like a catchphrase for a lot of people. In my mind, though, if you have sex with anybody outside of that, you are definitely not, in my mind, a queen of spades. Just, you know. So I think a lot of young girls throw that term around, like you said, not really understanding exactly what it means.
Mhm. So does a woman that just prefer black men makes her a queen of spades, or is something specific that makes her a queen of spades?
Um, in my mind, it's not just as much of a preference as it is the idea that in my mind, I feel like black men are superior in many ways, not just in the bedroom. So to me, that's what makes me a queen of spades. I can't really speak for every woman, but for me, that's really what it comes down to. It's not just like, about the color of your skin.
Mm. So with that being said, hello smokers, and welcome to the Smokers Lounge. Y'all know how we start these things off. You know who I am. I am Kavanaugh, the Southern Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. Find all my links with one link, allmyleads.com/porn rap star. Four sponsors bringing you this wonderful podcast. The first one being the hottest magazine in the game, eroticismmagazine.com. Next up, award-winning, award-nominated, voiceover with smut, and they even have a virtual reality side of their podcast, which is award-nominated. I'm talking about none other than blusherotica.com. For you counter lovers, whether you want to pour it on your mate or you want to smell good while y'all fucking, I got you covered. The Kinky Candle Company on Etsy, link in the description. And for your legal needs, check out the Queen of Law herself, Mitchell Ferrari. Link is in the description. And you can find me 5 days out the week in the mornings at fullswapradio.com. Also, skyheartapple.tv.com as well as the BGP LLC app. Now, I'm going to sit back and let this gorgeous, freaky Queen of Spades that got the booty that I see why so many brothers love that ass introduce herself. Go ahead, baby.
Hey everybody, my name is Eve Loves. I have been in the game for about 2 years now. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely consider myself to have been a kinky individual my whole life, so this is just something that comes naturally for me. Yeah, you can find me on different platforms like Twitter, OnlyFans, ManyVids, and right now I'm just focusing on building up my content.
Most definitely. And I see you doing a very good job of that.
Thank you.
For what I've been looking at from check out your page. Now I also understand that you also in a cuck situation. I'll let you explain that.
I'm not in a cuck situation.
Well, not a cuck situation, but with, I'm trying to think. Were you married or anything? 'Cause I was looking at your page. I was trying to.
I was married. I'm no longer married.
Okay. Okay.
That's been over 5+ years. So
Oh, I'm getting you
yeah,
mixed
no,
up.
I'm
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 sorry, smokers.
no worries.
I'm sorry, smokers. No, but
No
it's
worries.
funny how, a lot of ladies get into the business swinging their sexuality after a long relationship or a divorce. You get where I'm coming from? I talk to a lot of ladies that do that.
No, that's
So,
definitely my
and
situation as well. So
mhm. So was you
yeah.
married to a black guy before? Or was it a white guy?
Uh Hispanic guy.
Hispanic guy. Oh, so she
Hmm.
had melon, but it won't chocolate. You get what I'm saying? She had some Spanish. She had some like sorry
Yeah.
Latino smokers. Sorry about that. But anyway, so when did you always felt that way about brothers, about saying black men?
I did. I happen to live in an area of the United States where there is not a very large population of Black people. So it's
Okay.
not something that I just really had access to, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Hmm.
As after I got divorced, dating apps changed the world for me,
Yeah.
obviously. I, had access to people I
Hmm.
hadn't had access to before. So, yeah, once I went that way, I never went back, as they say.
Hmm. And so tell me about your first black man experience, and then we'll get to the content.
So, to tell you the truth, it wasn't actually that great of an experience. But he was young,
Hmm.
and you know,
See, that's why, because he
that
was
was
young. See, he needed some
yeah, but that
seasoning.
doesn't mess. He needs some seasoning. Yep,
He needs some
exactly.
seasoning.
Yeah, yeah,
But go ahead.
exactly. So, but let me think. Yeah, that one wasn't the best experience. I would say that just overall, in general, what I
Hmm.
experience, the difference
Hmm.
is skill. Like,
Yeah.
I've told many Black men, I feel like there has to be a man in your life that has pulled you aside at some point and been like, so this is how you do it.
Hmm.
Because my experience is that white men and even Hispanic men, they don't have that. So I'm not sure if it's something within the culture that, men are like passing down to
Hmm.
other men, but it seems that way because
Hmm.
there's just this general level of skill and like knowing about the female body differently. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because we love curves. See, that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
love
Yeah.
hips
A lot of
and
white men
titties.
don't know how to handle me.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I can believe that. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Shit, I
Yeah.
told you she built for the brothers. So trust and believe, goddamn. So now, what got you into the adult film realm?
So I have always been, how do I put this? In the, like I said before, in the kinky world. Like I was raised by hippies, so sex was never a taboo subject or
Mm,
an off limits subject. Neither was monogamy, neither was any of that stuff. So I think I had a leg up in that arena just by the way I was raised. And so I was young, like
mm,
16, expressing my desires for like BDSM, let's say. I used to
mm.
wear a choke chain dog collar as like jewelry, and I was 16. This was back in like what 96. So I've
Good.
always just had, you know, a propensity towards um, I have a high sex drive. I've
Mm,
always been very curious about
mm,
different things, and human sexuality is something that fascinates me. I'm in
mm.
school right now to get my bachelor's in psychology. And I want to be a sex therapist. So
Mm.
that's, where I'm heading.
I'd love to be one of your clients. But anyway, so so when did you decide to get in the business? Because like I said, it's one thing about our business is you have to be sexually open-minded to begin with because it
Hmm.
allows us to grace the discovery for sex. So when
Right.
did you and how did you start to get into the business and the steps that you took?
So it's actually kind of an interesting story. I took a solo vacation to Vegas in January of
Mm,
2020, and I matched and met a pimp on Hinge. Now, I didn't know he was a pimp, obviously, when we matched, but he came over. We had a night together. It was a great night.
mm,
He didn't tell me till a little bit later down the road. It wasn't
mm,
an issue for me. We had a conversation about prostitution that night. I had um, my ideas that it should be legal and it's necessary and all of that. So I think he was like, wow, I found this woman who's very open minded and down. Um, but, what he wanted was
uh,
for me to be part of his stable. And I was
yeah, he
not,
wants you to be one. Yeah, yeah, after having that
yeah, yeah,
conversation,
yeah.
of course he wants you to be one of his
I know.
hoes.
I
And the
know.
pussy was good.
Um,
And it
but
squirts.
that
And it
wasn't
gets
right.
creamy.
But that wasn't going to happen, right? I owned my own business. I had a
Yeah,
9 year old. Like, I wasn't
yeah.
trying to prostitute myself out, especially for some
Mm,
man. But what I will say that he did was definitely give me a lot of insight into the game
yeah.
and how to talk to men,
Mm-hmm.
and how to respect myself, believe it or not, and how to value what I have. So that's not something that I really understood before I met him. So
Mm-hmm.
he actually was the catalyst for me to like start to even think about that world. And then in the end of 2020, I just was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. It was just it was like 2 solid years of men constantly asking me for content,
Mm-hmm.
basically. And so I just started realizing like, what am I doing? I need to just do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I started my OnlyFans in November of 2022. And then some life circumstances happened, and I had some pretty severe anxiety that then turned to
Mm,
depression.
yeah.
And so I battled that for about 5 months. And so I didn't really focus or do much with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the beginning of this year, I started to like really focus more on getting content because I know that was the main thing I needed to do was build up my content, my portfolio. So that's what I'm focusing on.
So with you, because you're in an area that, of
Hmm.
course, didn't have a lot of black men, that means you had to travel. So how
Right.
did you reach out and find the guys for you to work with? Which I'm pretty sure was not hard.
So the first person that I worked with, he actually, when I was advertising my OnlyFans on Tinder, I was using dating apps to advertise. He swiped on me, contacted me on my OnlyFans, and then, was basically like, hey, I do content too. I'd love to like, hook
Mm-hmm.
up some time and do some. So that's basically how it started. Prior to that, I was basically just using, film that guys were filming when we fucked. It
Well,
wasn't
fuck.
anything
Yeah.
like, yeah, production or anything. So, yeah, that was where it started basically in January. Now, I knew that that guy I met, it had been about a year. It took us a year to finally hook up and make content
Mm-hmm.
because of,
Mm-hmm.
my life circumstances, his
Yeah.
life circumstances. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that started in January and that kind of kicked it off.
Oh my goodness. So how often do you film now?
So, because of where I live, there's not any creators. Well, there's one creator that I've been trying to connect with here in town.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I have to travel. So I was
Mm-hmm.
just in South Carolina shooting with Mars Blac. I have
Shouts
a
out to Mars.
shout out to Mars. I have a shoot booked in July in Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to set up a few other shoots there, but if I don't, I have an opportunity to just go to LA and shoot with somebody instead. So I may do a dual trip in July. But so I'm hoping to be able to shoot at least once a month.
Okay.
I also really want to be picky and particular about who I'm working with because I really want to focus on making good erotic art. And if I'm not like into you, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? If there's not chemistry
Yeah.
or some type of connection, to me, it just is very fake. And I don't want to make that kind of content.
Yeah, because with content trade versus a paid gig, you do have a choice of who you fuck on camera.
Right.
And a lot of girls are scared to admit that, yes, if it's not number one, number two, somewhere in the top two of the list, well, me want to fuck you has to be high.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
You know?
you obviously, I could do it and it would be content, right?
Yeah.
But I really want to focus on making
Mm.
like, you know,
No,
good
because
content.
because the thing that when people talk about this era, right, they talk about the realism of the shit that's being shot. You can have realism and it's still a porn scene. The key is about the
Right.
chemistry between the male talent and the female talent.
Right.
So what's some of the things like with you, what's some of the things that guys can do to help females become comfortable, build trust, build camaraderie, build that chemistry? Because the one thing about content trade is we are able to build chemistry before we see each other because of conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So what's some
Well,
of the
that's the
things that
key, the conversation. I mean, I feel like that's one of the main things that I've noticed about a lot of creators that reach out is there's not a lot of communication or just talking, getting to know each other. It's a lot more
yeah.
just cut and dry. Hey, do you want to shoot? Cool. Let's pick a date and, you know, and then I'll be there. I
Mhm.
don't really want to do that. So because of that, I know that my content isn't going to be as often. Like I'm not going to have as much in my portfolio, but I, I plan on having enough quality that that's what matters.
Yeah.
So,
But see, I'm gonna tell you what it is. See, you from my generation. Even with me when I was in the game, I like to get to know the ladies before we film. One enabled me to
mm-hmm,
figure out what type of scenes we can do, you know. Plus, it breaks the ice before we get there. Because when you get there, I want to get to work. You know what I'm saying? You know, period. Versus
right.
if
You don't want to
if we
spend 5 hours getting to know each other.
yeah, yeah. And see, I
Yeah.
used to have issues where girls get mad and be like, hey, you hit me too much. I'm like, I just said good morning. And I ain't hit you in
Yeah.
almost a week.
Yeah. You're just trying to build a rapport.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
would think that you would want to get to know me if I'm flying you to a place that you never been by
Right.
yourself. Wouldn't you want to get to make sure there ain't no crazy motherfucking individual?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right. Well, and it's also important too to reach out to other female creators that you know worked with that person. You know,
Yeah.
don't just go off of whatever you think. People can show you whatever they want. So it's important to like get people to vouch, I feel like.
So with you, because like I said, it's about the connection, which in turn makes better quality, you know, period. So with you, it's kind of like, do you feel that this day and age lost the quality that we came up with when it came to porn?
Repeat that.
Do you think, because I know you watched porn back in the day,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And you were the same age bracket as me that you remember got dang it, Cinemax After Dark and all that shit. So,
Mm-hmm.
So, see,
Mm-hmm.
look at her eyes. She like, oh damn, I forgot
I'm like
about that.
remembering, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Young Lady Chatterley, Emmanuel, you know, all
Mm-hmm.
that shit. Do you think that because the sex, because we remember they won't no face fucking, it was sensual, it was kissing. Do you think that that type scene, that type sex on camera sells better than what the hell is going on now? Just pound, 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 fuck, fuck, fuck. I'm gonna beat the brakes off the pussy.
I think it's hard because I think we all know that the main consumers of porn as far as purchasing is
Mm-hmm.
men, right? Whether it's
Yeah.
straight men or gay men. Women, we really don't have to purchase porn. I mean, I could get 20 dick pics like in my DM right now, or videos of them fucking somebody. Like, you know what I mean? It's really
Yeah.
not hard for me to get content from men. So personally, I've never paid for porn,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that men do. So
Yeah.
I don't know, because I think that it depends on what man you're talking to. I think that there's a lot of men out there that are
Mm-hmm.
extremely disconnected from themselves
Mm-hmm.
and would rather watch a woman getting their face fucked.
Yeah.
Because now I'm not saying that I won't ever get my face fucked, right? But it's because I want you to fuck my face.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
No, it makes sense. It makes
it's
sense.
it's and it's
But
just as
see,
hot.
but see,
But
the point I'm getting to is that, to me, your porn and for what you're talking, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of your porn is sensual. It might have a
mhm,
little pounded in it, but it's a sensual, sexy feel.
right.
My,
I don't know
it,
if men will purchase it.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I
You
I
tell
think they
me.
will. I think that they will.
Okay.
The reason why, because like I said, it's still a romance to it and a sex appeal to it, and
Mhm.
plus it stands out more because it's more the I'm gonna fuck it for
Right.
16 minutes busting nut. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But to me,
Well,
but go ahead.
I was gonna say, I will say that, like, my fans range in
Mm-hmm.
age. I mean, from
Mm-hmm.
18 to and which is scary.
And that should tell you.
You know what I
That
mean?
should tell you right there.
I guess
Because
it
no,
should.
because if you got young boys, think about it. If you fucking a young boy, you gonna tell that young boy, slow your ass down, boy. Got to enjoy the moment. You feel me? And so that's what I mean by I tell females, look at your age range. It tell you this if that type of porn is registering. If you got
Right.
some young guys, that means okay, they like that shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
So for you,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like with you, do you build your brand based around the sensual sexiness, the sex appeal? You get what I'm saying? Because
Right.
to
Yeah.
me, from watching your stuff, you're not giving us a fuck video. You're not giving us a sex tape. You're giving us a sexual experience on camera. You get what I'm coming from?
Right. Yeah. Even just the way I give head.
Yeah, I noticed that. Y'all need to check it out.
Yeah.
Whew. But go ahead, speak.
So yeah, you're right. I do. I mean, I guess you're right. It will sell. I just had never really. I just know that I wanted to. I just know what I wanted to do. It was true for myself and what
Mhm,
felt good for me, and I'm just hoping that people like
mhm.
it. You know.
So, so now my question is, when it comes to let's go to the technical side of it. Cause see,
To the what side?
the technical side of things,
Okay.
because when it comes to filming, it takes a lot of work.
Right.
As much as we sit here and we say we fuck, yeah, we fuck, but we practically athletes. So for you, how intense do your shoots get? And to speak to filming and not being lost in the moment that you'll fuck the scene up.
So I think I've had two experiences really so far, right? And so I'm going to be able to tell you a lot better once I have more under my
Mm-hmm.
belt.
Mm-hmm.
I can only really tell you based on the two experiences I've had, right?
Mm-hmm.
One is with somebody that I was actually dating. The
Mm-hmm.
other is obviously Mars. And so the difference is Mars was very professional. It was a shoot. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a
Mars
job.
film
It was work.
professionally. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. In the other situation, it was a little bit different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't 100% know. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that once I have some
Now,
more under my belt.
what I mean is, you forget there's a camera there, and the
I
cues,
did.
looking at the camera, knowing when to look. You get where I'm coming from?
Right, right,
Because
right.
when we are filming, even though we're fucking each other, we're making love to the camera. I always say this: the male talent puts her in position to look good. That's his job. He's the director on the other than the director that directed the scene, he's the director on during the scene. So for the most part. So with you, because the learning my angles on the camera, learning to look, knowing when to move that hair out the face when I'm giving fucking head to the camera on this side. You get where I'm coming from? How much do you think when you shoot?
In the situation with the first creator, not much, because it was very much in the moment and like organic. You know what I mean? With Mars, I was much more in my head, for sure. It was much more being aware of all of those things that you were just talking about. So I suspect moving forward as I shoot with more people like Mars on a much more business level, it's gonna probably be that.
No, I'm gonna tell you what it was. When you walked in and saw that setup, you were like, "Oh, this ain't we ain't in Kansas anymore," because I know Mars setup.
I thought that before I even saw his setup. He's just the way he communicates and the way he, he's so transparent. Like the way he communicates is on par. So I knew before I even went there that it was very business and that it was work. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So shoot, and you said you've been in business since this year? Starting this year?
I started my OnlyFans in 2022, the November of 2022, but I didn't do a ton on it, and I started really focusing in this January.
Okay. So yeah, no, because we go to spectrum people, from the people that's alleged to the people that's somewhat new to this, because I want everyone has a story. So now, from what you had learned from Mars, how you applying what you had learned from him? Because I'm pretty sure he gave you some knowledge on filming, knowledge on the business and stuff like that with the conversation that we have.
How you now apply knowledge every day? Oh yeah, I apply it every day. I mean, we talk all the time, and he's constantly giving me the game. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just trying to apply everything that he teaches me. Even when it comes down to like how to communicate with creators and how to deal with flakes and how to deal with, X, Y, and Z. So yeah, he's like a brother, father figure almost for me in a way at this point. So yeah, whatever information he gives me, I am taking with,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now here's the question. Now that you didn't work with Mars, this question I always ask ladies. You now have worked with a professional male talent. Does this change how you pick guys that you work with for content? As far as criteria? And explain.
Yeah, he definitely like set the bar. Do you know what I mean? If I don't feel that same vibe from somebody else, I'm not going to shoot. And I'm not going to say it has to be the same, right? Because nobody's going to be Mars.
Yeah.
But there definitely needs to be that level of communication, trust, all of that. So yeah, definitely.
So, but to you, I tell females, once you hit a level, you never go below it. So would you consider experience? Would you consider following? Any of that within the realms of who you would shoot with?
I mean, I think you take all of that into account, but it's not one or the other, right? There's some people out there that have huge followings, and I would not work with just because I don't necessarily like their style. So it doesn't matter how many followers they have or even how much experience they have. It's, if I feel like I'm going to vibe with you, that's what's the most important.
So when you look at his feed, you seen this stroke. You know what I'm saying? What type of stroke he got bring to the table that says, "Oh, I vibe with him on camera." You know what I'm
saying? What kind of stroke?
Because I'm pretty sure the reconnaissance is video reconnaissance. Let's stop playing.
Listen, there is one particular creator out there that I am just like, every time I watch his videos, I'm just like, holy God. His name is Leo the Lion. And
Okay.
the way he strokes, let's just
I
say.
told
So yeah,
you.
it does. It like every single video I see him make, he looks like they are having a great time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It seems like there's not even a camera there. Like they don't even seem like, yeah, they're just so in the moment. And so yeah,
Mhm.
that's the kind of stuff that I want to do.
Oh my goodness. So now let's have a little fun, shall we? So, Miss Love,
Yeah.
are you into anal?
Am I into anal?
Yes.
I have a love-hate relationship with anal in that it's one of the most intense orgasms I've ever
Mm-hmm.
had in my life, and
Mm-hmm.
and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that there's a lot of men out there that don't know how to do anal properly. So it really depends on the guy.
Mm-hmm. So with you, um, would you do that on camera at some point?
I would if it was somebody I felt comfortable and I trusted. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, are we looking to do film or participate in a gangbang?
Oh, sure. For sure. Yeah.
Let me like this blood. So,
Yeah.
how many men would be the perfect gangbang for you? And mind you, we know the dicks that you probably would like to have. So, go.
I mean, I'm thinking 4, 5. I don't think I could probably go more than that. I mean, I only have so many hands and so many holes. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
So
oh
I
yeah.
also, I also, to be honest, it kind of weirds me out sometimes when I'm watching gangbang scenes where, like, there's 5 guys sitting around just jacking it. Like,
That's why I can't do a gangbang. I can do me and one other dude. I might can
yeah,
do me and two other dudes, but anything more than that, nah, cause I ain't gonna be sitting over there jerking my dick. No, no.
just like a circle around them, and there's just like, it's like literally a circle jerk.
Oh my goodness. So, so with that, because I know you mentioned BDSM. So
Hmm.
tell me, what part of BDSM are you in? And and I know, and would you like to bring that world to part of your filming repertoire?
For sure. Yep. I like I said, I think that when it comes to BDSM, I don't think it's one of those things that you're into. I feel like you're born liking it or not. I mean, some
Mm-hmm.
people can discover it right later in their life and discover that they like it. But like being submissive in that way is something that I've always
Yeah,
enjoyed. So
yeah.
I definitely like bondage. Um,
Mm-hmm.
impact play is
Mm-hmm.
probably one of my favorites. And I'm willing to try other things too, but I follow this Sir Marvelous. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he's a pretty famous Dom, and
Mm-hmm.
I watch his stuff and he blows me away. So yeah, I
Oh my
definitely would
goodness.
love to incorporate.
Oh yeah, because like I said, that when you do those things, it takes a lot of trust because that's a different world and a different
Right,
level,
right.
especially on
And
a
I've done
mental.
it in my life, like for pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it can be extremely intense. And the what do they call the sub drop that happens afterwards is a
Mm-hmm.
real thing.
Oh
So
yeah,
it does. You have to be.
aftercare must be done. Aftercare
And
must be done,
but
especially
the
after a
thing
session.
is that sometimes you experience that sub drop way after. Like I was like 3 4 days post,
Mm-hmm.
and he was nowhere around because he was in a different
Yeah,
city now,
yeah,
and it was
yeah.
difficult. Do you know what I mean? I had that
Mm-hmm.
much of a high for that many days that it took that many days for my dopamine to drop.
Yeah,
So yeah,
because people don't realize a mental orgasm is stronger than a physical, and that's what the
yeah,
BDSM is about.
yep.
The
The
mental.
first time I ever had an experience, I was shaking. My body was literally shaking from the inside out, but it wasn't a scared shake. It
Yeah.
was just anticipation. and excitement. And I even started crying because it was
Ooh.
intense. It was
So,
intense.
so with you being the Queen of Spades, which so
Hmm.
people can understand, the Queen of Spades is a part of the BDSM world. That what people must understand.
Sorry.
No, that's all good, beautiful. Love the outfit while I was going down. Anyway, uh, and so are you looking to be owned?
Like on a 24/7 basis,
Yeah.
because there's varying degrees of that, right?
Yes, there is actually.
Um, I don't think so. Not 24/7.
It well,
No.
it depends on the, the I got put the I'm not gonna say negotiations. I'm not gonna go there. It's the conversation
Right.
that you have with
Right.
your
The negotiations.
yeah what you have
Hmm.
with your dom
Right.
or your king as they
Hmm.
like to be called, as we like to be called, fellas.
Right.
And because even to the point, me because I'm in the lifestyle as a dom, um, still involved with still learning, which is always the case. But but the thing about it
Right.
is, um, when it comes to it, it's a lot that goes with it. You know what I'm saying? The anklet, the tattoo. You know, because a lot of people see the girl with the tattoo. Dog, trust me, it's the reason why they get the tattoo. They just ain't doing the tattoo just for the fuck up.
Right.
That was like, it to me. Why do people get it? Why are so many misconceptions about the Queen of Spades? In your
I
opinion?
don't. I mean, I I don't know if I'm aware that there's that many misconceptions. Maybe I'm not in the world enough to know what those misconceptions are. Everybody I know understands what that means. So I'm not
Well, it's
quite
just
sure
stuff I
what
guess I look at. But for you, it like this:
Mhm.
when when did you when did you know you was a Queen of Spades? There we go. When did you know it was like, no, it ain't that I prefer black men. No, no, I'm a Queen of Spades. Because like I said, it's a difference between I prefer
Right,
and I'm a Queen of Spades. And a lot of people
right.
don't know the difference,
I
but
I
so
want to
much.
say it's been at least 4 years for me.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, about 4 years, I would say.
It just hits you like, you know something? I'm a Queen of Spades. I really these black men are my kings.
They are.
No,
Yeah, I
because
don't know. Well, I mean,
no,
okay,
because
let me put it this way. I think that
go ahead.
being raised the way I was,
Mhm.
I have always been a little bit ashamed of the white race, to be honest, like even my own
Okay.
race. And it's been like that since I was little, like little, little.
Hmm.
I remember being like 8 years old and watching Mississippi Burning, and it was one of the most
Ooh,
devastating films that I had
yes.
ever watched, right? And because my parents weren't racist, they didn't talk about color in our household.
Yeah.
And so it was the first time I ever really knew or understood
Hmm.
that there was, like, an issue with race.
Hmm.
And it was devastating. I was devastated. I bawled and cried, and it was so I think that there's just always been a level of empathy
Hmm.
and shame for
Hmm.
me. And so I think that when there came a time where I was able to decide, like, what do you want? Do you want to put your energy into, you know, these guys,
Hmm.
or the men that are, like, superior in your mind? So yeah, it was for me an easy decision. It wasn't even it kind
Yeah.
of just happened, and it
Mm.
just is. It wasn't really a one day I was like, oh, I'm a queen of spades. It just happened. It just
Just
is. I just
happened. Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, but because you have girls that sit here and say they're doms, they don't understand what the term is. They just woke up one day and decided to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
And
believe me, I know.
they just be like,
Believe me, I know.
like, why do you think you're financial? If you can't get that dude to send you money for coffee and he in another country, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because even with me as a male, I had to pay pig, and he's a white dude, and he loved to be
Right.
called, the terms. I don't want to say it. Well, no, fuck it, because honky, cracker, all that shit. And I'm like, hey, I'm all
Okay.
for it. You know what I'm saying? He gives reparations.
Right.
And trust me, I'm pretty sure people look at me sideways because he's a dude. Yes, a dom can have male sons
Yeah.
without fucking them, and it's not gay.
Right. No,
You know what I'm
because
saying? To like
a
female.
lot of the times it's not about fucking.
No, not. If you're having sex with them, you actually fucking it up. Actually,
Right.
in a lot of cases, you fucking it up. Especially even as a
You're
female.
doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, because even with a female sub, I'm not supposed to be fucking all the time. Period. And no, But anyway, but now, as far as career wise, because I take it that you want to take this serious because of the way that you're moving and what have you. Now, are you looking to get paid gigs? And two, because you a Queen of Spades, are you willing to fuck something outside of black men on camera? And talking about your personal life.
Definitely not in my personal life. I don't honestly think on camera either because I feel like that would completely negate the word and the term. And how could I call myself that if I did?
I mean, trust me, it ain't gonna hurt your career. Interracial is king right now, but I digress. I was just asking.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't think that I would. I don't have any desire to. So it's like if I don't need to, why should I? Why would I? And then what was the other question? Would I outside of what was the first part? I can't remember.
I mean, basically, for a paid gig, would you fuck something that's not black?
Oh, got you. I'm on the fence about paid gigs.
Truth be told, because people always say, "What's a porn star when they?" I always felt this, and it's always been said. You're shooting with the guys that these companies are booked. You're shooting with the guys that are nominated. That makes you a porn star also because you shoot as a porn star.
Right.
Because in this day and age, y'all are studio onto yourself. Let's be honest.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you do solos or not, but hell, you just filming a solo makes you a studio to a certain extent. So to me, do you necessarily depend on what level you want to go and what level is open to you? Because like I said, certain companies don't shoot certain body types. I digress. Y'all know how it is in this game. So, and two, a lot of girls don't need the companies anymore. Not like when I first came into business many years ago. So be honest with you, do you even need to pay gigs?
I don't know. And to be honest with you, I would love to be the one directing and behind the camera at some point. I mean, I'm that.
There need to be more women behind the camera. There need to be more women behind the camera because I do believe y'all eye for filming is a little bit better than a man's.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I definitely want to go that deep and that far into it. So yeah, I don't know.
Oh my goodness! So, are you looking to do any content houses?
I was just looking into one that was in July for the, Red Bottom Productions.
And they only Shouts out to Mr. Red Bottom.
Yeah, and they only had one spot left when he like posted it. And I had another opportunity at the same time in Las Vegas with somebody, and so I talked to Mars, and I was like, "What do you think I should do?" Right, this shoot house, and he's like, "Man, that'd be good because it's a lot of content, but this person in Vegas, that'd be good for you too." So I decided to do Vegas.
Right.
But I think I would if it was the right situation. I think all of the answer to all of those is yes, if it was the right
Mm-hmm.
situation and I felt like comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But my issue, I think, as far as I know, and I may be incorrect, I don't know if all production companies are this way, but when you film for them, you don't own the footage, right? They own it at that
Well,
point, right?
nah. It depends on if you're doing content trade with them or they're paying you.
Right.
And
Okay.
some
So if it's
companies
paid, they
do,
own it.
yeah, they own it. Some companies, from what I understand, which I still don't get, um, is paid trade where they pay you and you still get the content. They just pay you a lesser rate,
Oh,
which to
okay.
me defeats the fucking purpose. Even do content trade and just pay the woman. I'm just saying. But
Right.
no, but if they doing a content trade house, you're getting the content.
Right. Right.
Whatever
Yeah.
you
No,
shoot,
I
you're
know
getting.
about,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
shoot houses for sure. I know
Yeah.
you do. So
Period.
yeah, I
But
probably would for that just because the amount of content you can get in a
mhm.
short period of time is valuable.
So, oh my
So,
goodness. And now also because you experience shooting with Mars as well as shooting professional, what a professional would do versus amateur.
hmm
Speak to the difference mental preparation that you had to have for Mars versus him because it had to be because it's a different
yeah,
level of what y'all shooting.
it was much, because there isn't that like, it's much more business, and then there isn't that like sexual drive. It's not like we met on an app and are trying to hook up. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Um, I definitely had to be more focused on making sure that I allowed myself to go there,
Mm-hmm.
like pleasure wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it can be hard for women. I mean, I'm not going to speak for all women, but for a lot of women, when you get in your head, it's hard to have an orgasm. So I was trying really hard to just, not be in my head and, like you said, be in the moment and not be too concerned about like the way I was looking and angles and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And just knowing that he was going to take care of me
Mm-hmm.
in that way.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Because to be honest with you, the more natural you look, the better off it is. And it can be funny as fuck. Because I had girls that when they orgasm, they be laughing.
right.
Laughing hysterically. And
hmm
I have not bothered. I said, this is going to be a great scene, period.
Right.
And everything. Did you cream and squirt during the shoot with Mars?
I haven't watched the footage. He sent it off to be edited, so I'm not
Mm.
exactly sure. You'd have to ask him. He's the one that had the POV, right?
Uh-huh.
Not me.
Some tell me that you was creaming all over the place and everything.
I mean, I know
And
I know there was no dryness happening. Let's just say that.
oh no, I don't think you ever get dry, babe. I'm just saying. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think that's gonna be one of your signatures? Because I feel that females have certain things that they do that make the fans remember them. And to me, it's like that cream stand out. You see a lot of girls
Well,
squirt.
that's
You don't see a lot of creamers.
right. Well, I think that's where I go back to that. There has to be some chemistry and connection, right? Because if I don't
Mm-hmm,
do that, that may not happen.
mm-hmm,
So that's if I want that to be my signature, then I have to make sure that I'm, fucking people that I want to fuck.
well, I know if I shoot with your ass, I'm gonna try my damage to make that ass cream. That
I feel like
shit
it's a
come out
certain
looking like
spot.
Krispy Kreme. Goddamn, we look at Krispy Kreme
I
down that bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I've had quite a people comment on that one video that I have out to the point where like the guy I made it with, people were asking him like, was that your cum? Was that like your cum or was that her creaming? And he's like, no, that was her creaming. And they were just like, what the fuck? I don't know if I've ever seen that much cream before. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. She is Krispy Kreme, ladies and gentlemen.
but he was
It's
hitting a
real.
certain spot that just, like produced that outcome. So
Right.
it's less about me than it is about them.
But you creamy, did that mean you having an orgasm?
No, not necessarily.
Hmm. Because a lot of times, a lot of guys make the mistake of thinking a woman creaming or squirting, she's having an orgasm. That's not the case all the time.
Usually, if I'm squirting, that is an so I have three different types of orgasms:
Mm-hmm.
clitoral stimulation, and then vaginal, and then squirting. So
Mm-hmm.
squirting doesn't feel the same as vaginal
Mm-hmm.
nor clitoral. Um, so I do consider squirting an orgasm because it does feel like an orgasm in its own way.
So that means if I make you squirt, I got to win. Yes, I made a come. Yay! Yay! No, cause
You
no.
gotta hit that spot,
Oh yeah. No, it's
you
it
know.
the key is the dude brushing up against that G spot just right, and she got enough
Hmm.
water in her. So I mean, do you okay when you squirt? Do you is it drizzle or does it spray or does it spray?
So it depends on the position I'm in.
Ooh,
So
so
when I'm doggy style, it just
mm,
kind of pours down gravity, right?
ooh, yeah,
But in missionary, it will definitely get all over you.
mm. So
So
so now, how
yeah.
does it feel to be a sex symbol? Because a lot of the females um don't understand the key to making money in this is to become a sex symbol,
Hmm.
not just someone that they think of or dream of or fucking no. They imagine it, they fantasize. So, and with you, like from the outfits that you pick, the pictures that you take, how much do you take into account becoming the sex symbol? And did you even think you were that sexy like that?
I mean, I guess I'm not really consciously like thinking, oh, I need to become a sex symbol. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
being me,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Like I don't no, I know. I didn't know for a long time because I was in a very bad marriage who, my self-esteem was like
Mm-hmm.
nothing. So I didn't know for a long time. Once I was out of
Mm-hmm.
that marriage, and to be honest, the type of men that I was able to actually get, I was kind of shocked by. And so that sounds really bad, but it's what happened. And so I was like, oh shit, okay, wait, maybe I do, you know what I mean? And so my confidence built. I'm not
Yeah.
one of those women who are like, oh, I'm the most beautiful woman in the
Mm-hmm.
world. But I also know that I have traits and values that go way beyond my physical, way
Yeah.
beyond, and that are actually way better than my physical.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I try to focus on those things and
Mm-hmm.
just know that if I like let myself shine in those ways, it's going to come through.
Yeah, because the thing about it is now you're in the business of selling sex,
Right.
being sex, and stuff like that. 'Cause I ain't had conversations with females. I'm like, girls don't wear heels anymore. Um, the lingerie, the nice, pretty girl pictures, period,
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Because pictures do help, period.
Well, you're
I tell
building a fantasy.
thank you. That's my point. There you go.
Yeah.
Speak. Continue to talk. Continue to
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah. You're building a fantasy. I mean, that's what you want. You want those men to want you. And so you have to build that fantasy in their mind,
Mm-hmm.
even to the point where they might even think that you're like their girlfriend. I mean, you know, you do have to sometimes have those interactions with fans.
Yeah, because see, I think what also, and I've been said this, because the conversation that people have about women in their prime. In my
Hmm.
opinion, women are in their prime 35 and up.
Right.
Because if you notice,
Absolutely.
what's hot is the milk, you know,
Right.
period. And everything,
Hmm.
especially on the porn side, everything.
Right.
So walking into it, did you think being an older lady, being in our generation, you'll be killing it and get hot and be hot
Not
in the
until I
business?
got on dating apps. that was the first time that, young, I call them boys,
Yeah.
were hitting me up. And I was like, do you know how old I am? You know what I mean?
They did
And they
not
were
give a
like,
shit.
yeah, I do. And I think it's sexy as fuck. Like, whoa. So yeah, I mean, no, I learned real quick that there is
Mhm.
a huge amount of young boys who want older women. And they
Yeah.
tell me that the reasons are always across the board the same when I ask them why. It's
Yeah.
always the same.
It was
So
it.
it's um older women know what they want and they're not afraid to say it.
Hmm.
Most older women are not looking for a relationship or to get married and have babies.
Yeah.
So it's not as serious, right?
Hmm.
Or and then what was the other? Oh yeah, that they're just way better in bed, and also that their pussies are like sweeter. I've heard that. I don't know if that's true.
No, because he.
Supposedly with age, I don't know.
No, because he like what people don't realize the reason why when Stifler's mom and Miss Parker
I
became
mean,
a
look at
thing,
Mrs. Robinson. That song is how
I
old?
I mean, if you want to be honest, because I mean, Van Halen had "Hot for Teacher." I don't need to say no more. You know, so that's one of my favorite songs back in the day. Yes, I was
Yeah.
into rock and roll, trying to believe, but they show you my age, people. I remember MTV. Now, back to my point. But see, the thing about it is, that's why older women succeed in this business because, to me, they have a maturity about them that and a sense of urgency. You get where I'm coming from? And
Mhm.
y'all can
Mhm.
separate fucking on camera from fucking off camera much better
Right.
because you've been there and fucking done that. Because I
Mhm.
notice companies and even the business itself, you see more women in our age bracket coming into business new than you do girls that's 18 and 20.
I noticed that same thing. It's almost
Yeah.
like young girls are, I don't want to say banned from the industry, but it's almost like it's unless that's the niche, right? Because you do have
Mm.
those niches where people really like to watch girls who look prepubescent or whatever. Um,
Mm.
but typically, mainstream porn is going much more into like what you said, the MILF category,
Yeah.
even even the GILF category. Like,
Yes.
there's so much more grandmas. I mean, I could be a grandma. Let's not go
I
there.
mean, you. I mean, no. It honestly, you could be on both ends of the fence. You could be
Well,
the
I mean,
gift.
I
You could be the
technically
milf.
could be a grandma. I have a 23-year-old, so
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I could be a granddad myself out of this piece. To be honest with you,
yeah.
twice over. I could be. Umpteen over come think about it, but no, but I mean, no, but to me, I think also on the business side, y'all kind of understand this business, because it seems like the older ladies really do better business than the young girls in this business.
What do you feel like is the difference? Like, what things do you notice that stand out?
Well, one, y'all don't get dickmatized that easy. I mean, no, I mean, seriously, and
Yeah.
two,
Okay.
and y'all know y'all bodies, and a lot of the time,
Hmm.
y'all are discovering yourself sexually through either doing
Right.
the swinging, the poly, or even the porn. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like I said, and two, y'all ain't got no shame no more because you ain't worried about mom and daddy finding out. They old. Who cares? They probably don't look at the internet. Uh,
My mom's gone,
kids grown.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kids are grown. Who
Yeah.
cares? Just block mama. And they already know mama a freak, so who cares? So, and so to me, I think, which in turn allow y'all to do better business because y'all not worried about people finding out.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and
That's
two also
true.
is
I mean, we have a lot less to lose, right? Because we may
yeah.
have already been in our career, or like my boss where I work knows what I do. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he is super cool about it. It's not even,
He,
I'll be like,
he probably
I'm gonna be off
subscribed.
work. No, he didn't.
He
We have
probably.
not that type of relationship.
I know with the
I,
man, my former manager subscribed to my damn site. I was like, damn, you seen all my scenes. God damn, dude.
yeah, no, I don't think he wants to see any of that. We're like brother sister, so I don't think he wants to. I mean, I may be wrong, but
Mm. You be
I'm
surprised.
pretty sure.
He will not tell you. He will not tell you that he might subscribe, but he might have subscribed out this motherfucker. He's like,
You never
damn,
know. You never know.
because he might be looking away. He looking at you like, oh, I'm just
He'd
wondering.
have to find. He'd have to find all my XXX you know
Mm.
sites, and haven't given him any of that information. So he doesn't even know my screen name.
Oh
So
my
you
goodness.
know,
Oh my god. Oh Lord, I know. Yo, so I done held you up here for an hour. Smokes on the held up here. And we ain't been scratching surface so much we gotta talk about. And
yeah,
I got to ask her the $1,000,000 question, ladies and gentlemen. And Miss Eve Loves, can I call you a smoke buddy?
sure, absolutely.
Say no more. She'll be back here on the Smokers Lounge, and we're gonna bring her to the Premium Smoke Room, to the Premium Smoke Podcast. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Premium Smoke Room on Loyal Fans. 5 premium podcasts for you to enjoy. Three wonderful hostesses for you to fall in love with. And it gets more candid, it gets more provocative, it gets more wild, it gets more unpredictable. The conversation gets more saucier, and the tits might come out, dildos might pop out. You don't know unless you subscribe. And check out the video store where you can see me in action and see the ladies that I gave that work to when I was in the industry. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a second way for you to get some great content. Unfortunately, she ain't gonna be on there, but fellas, ladies, for my Spotify smokers, yeah, I got that Savage Smoke. Where twice a month I talk to the industry's top male talent and producers, and we give you that real smoke from a male perspective about the industry. So go ahead and subscribe over there only for my Spotify users. For anybody else, go to the Premium Smoke Room on Loyal Fans and catch that premium smoke. Now, with that being said, Miss Eve Loves, tell everybody where they can spend money on you, baby.
So I am Eve Loves QOS. All lowercase, but the QOS is uppercase on ManyVids and Twitter. My OnlyFans is eveloves.qos, and that's where you can find me.
Mm. Yeah, y'all can see what I mean by that Krispy Kreme, because that thing get creamy. Shit,
Yep.
made me had to fantasize for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I love some good cream, especially on
Well,
the
I
face. Come up like
appreciate that.
maybe come up like I ate a glazed donut out this motherfucker.
Uh-oh.
So with that being said, we end these things all day, every day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience? If you haven't learned anything, smoke this over. Miss Loves, tell everybody goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you for having me so much. I really, really had a good time.
No doubt. Till next week.
See ya.